Hello guys and welcome to this video. Today we're going to be doing a stock analysis on Palantir Technologies. Now firstly, we're going to be looking at the SMA lines and then some RSI. Now firstly, if we take a look at the graph, it has been performing crazy the last 12 months. It's crazy. It was at $18 a little over 12 months ago and now it's at 101. You can see its earnings, all of these green E's down here, those earnings are more than positive. As you can see here, they surprise, which means that they earn more than estimate. And as you can see, it has done that all the way since the 2nd of November 23, which is crazy. You can also see it over here. Just look at that. And also look at this green ball is above the other one, which means it actually increases more and more. Now this is also one of the reasons why it is increasing so much, but also just the platform in which Palantir is making. Now, if we take a look at some SMA lines here, we can see they are doing quite well and have done so for quite a long time. We had the last cross we had were a golden cross. This was back in the 11th of June, which is 9 months ago, which is crazy. A golden cross, and it has just been performing like crazy ever since. We had a very close death cross right here when it dropped from 80 to 70. That was actually very close. But yeah, besides that, it has been performing very well. We have the one problem with this stock is we have quite a few gaps in the graphs, as you can see if you take a look here. Once these candles don't touch, that's called a gap, and that makes the technical analysis a bit more unreliable. And again, as you can see here, there is a huge gap here when the earnings came out and they surprised. Let's see, 26% surprise, which is crazy high. So again, it jumped up again, which makes the technical analysis a bit more difficult. And then up here, it fell a bit. This was because they said that the amount of DOJ contracts they would be getting and the amount of DOD contracts they would be getting from the United States were lower. This is fine because they said that they were focusing their main business more on other things than the Department of Defense. Now, those with the SMA lines, now let's take a look at some of the RSI down here. Now you can see it trades a lot of peaks up here, which is very nice. This means that there is often quite a lot of upwards pressure in the stock. For those of you who doesn't know, once it's above 70, it's overbought, and if it's below 30, it's oversold. And if you look at the graph here, it's more often than not up here compared to down here, which means people think that there should be upwards momentum in the stock, which is also why it has increased so crazy. Now, this is actually quite nice. We did see, however, a small bottom here down at 27 when they came up with the news that they weren't going to be getting as many DoD contracts. This is fine because if we look at the earnings, again, they're crazy, and they said that their private, what can you say, business on private firms would grow by at least 54% this year, so that's crazy. But then again, also look at their margins. They have been crazy high all year, and here at 9, I know the graph looks a bit silly here because it's so low, but 9.5% margins is very, very nice. Also look at the performance the prior years is insane, especially 2024 were insane, 365%. Now the technical analysis and the analyst rating is neutral. I understand that because this is was a very small stock a few years ago, and now it has boomed, joining both the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq this year, last year alone. So it's very volatile. Also, as you can see, just these spikes and these valleys, it's a bit volatile, of course, as you know. But I don't know. I think it's a quite interesting stock. Also, just the way that they make their AI platforms is gonna help make so many more companies much more effective. And also, I want to highlight an article that I read here on TradingView. As you can see here, I'm just gonna read some of this. Pensions up stakes, and then we're gonna scroll down, and this Texas-based pension teacher of Texas scooped up, as you can see here, 507,000 shares. That is crazy. At the current price point, that would be $552 million. Just imagine that, and that is quite an insane amount. And also, they bought up Nvidia shares, which means that big pensions are increasing their margins and their basis in these companies, something that they hadn't done previously because they were too scared. So I think that is an extremely positive sign for Palantir. I personally own quite a lot of Palantir, and I think it's going to increase maybe upwards toward 170 this year. I'm not gonna expect it to perform like last year. I mean, if it can perform like this again, it's going to be absolutely amazing. But I think it should be around 170 or 150 to 170 is my price range. If it hits that, then I might reduce some of my personal stocks in it, just because if it increases to that too fast, I think it's going to be a bit more volatile. I think we're going to see a lot more valleys or dips like this. So yeah. So yeah, that was my stock analysis on Palantir Technologies. I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe.